If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. I can calculate the motion of heavenly bodies, but not the madness of people. Tact is the knack of making a point without making an enemy. Nature is pleased with simplicity, and nature is no dummy. What we know is a drop, what we don't know is an ocean. To me, there has never been a higher source of earthly honor or distinction than that connected with advances in science. Gravity explains the motions of the planets, but it cannot explain who sets the planets in motion. No great discovery was ever made without a bold guess. A man may imagine things that are false, but he can only understand things that are true. Truth is ever to be found in simplicity, and not in the multiplicity and confusion of things. He who thinks half-heartedly will not believe in God, but he who really thinks has to believe in God. Live your life as an exclamation, not an explanation. Genius is patience. An object in motion tends to stay in motion unless acted upon by an outside force. To every action there is always opposed and equal reaction. I do not know what I may appear to the world, but to myself I seem to have been only like a boy playing on the seashore. Errors are not in the art, but in the artificers. Atheism is so senseless. When I look at the solar system, I see the Earth at the right distance from the Sun to receive the proper amounts of heat and light. This did not happen by chance. The more time and devotion one spends in the worship of false gods, the less he is able to spend in that of the true one. If I am anything, which I highly doubt, I have made myself so by hard work. Trials are medicines which our gracious and wise physician prescribes because we need them. Philosophy is a many-sided beast. Plato is my friend, Aristotle is my friend, but my greatest friend is truth. Everybody perseveres in its state of being at rest or of moving uniformly straight forward, except insofar as it is compelled to change its state by forces impressed. God created everything by number, weight, and measure. The description of right lines and circles upon which geometry is founded belongs to mechanics. In the absence of any other proof, the thumb alone would convince me of God's existence. Resistance is always contrary to the force by which a body is moved. Religion and science are not separate, but rather two sides of the same coin. To explain all nature is too difficult a task for any one man or even for any one age. Opposition to godliness is atheism in profession and idolatry in practice. The centerpiece of the universe is the sun. It is the perfection of God's works that they are all done with the greatest simplicity. My powers are ordinary, only my application brings me success. Gravity may put the planets into motion, but without the divine power, it could never set them into such a circulating motion as they have about the sun. The Great Pyramid is a prophetic blueprint of the world's history. Unity is the goal of all science. A heavenly master is a ruler over all. Truth is the offspring of silence and meditation. The marvelous arrangement and harmony of the universe could only have come from the plan of an omniscient and omnipotent being. Nothing can be divided into more parts than it can possibly be constituted of. All my discoveries have been made in answer to prayer. Geometry is a part of universal mechanics. I believe the more I study science, the more I believe in God. The seed of a tree has the nature of a branch or twig or bud. Infinite space is the sensorium of the Godhead. The word God usually signifies a Lord. To myself, I am only a child playing on the beach while vast oceans of truth lie undiscovered before me. 'Tis much better to do a little with certainty and leave the rest for others that come after you. The motions which the planets now have could not spring from any natural cause alone. Whosoever shall not believe the Bible cannot be saved. The system of the world is a simple thing. Don't doubt the Creator, because it is inconceivable that accidents alone could be the controller of this universe. As a blind man has no idea of colors, so have we no idea of the manner by which the all-wise God perceives and understands all things. Absolute, true, and mathematical time of itself and from its own nature flows equably without regard to anything external. Space is a disposition of being qua being. If I have done the public any service, it is due to my patient thought. Christ comes as a thief in the night, and it is not for us to know the times and seasons which God hath put into his own breast. It is much better to keep the truth in secret than to be persecuted for it. Colors are the properties of light. I have a fundamental belief in the Bible as the Word of God, written by those who were inspired. I study the Bible daily. This most beautiful system of the sun, planets, and comets could only proceed from the counsel and dominion of an intelligent and powerful being. We are to admit no more causes of natural things than such as are both true and sufficient to explain their appearances. Hypotheses non fingo. I frame no hypotheses. Light is a heterogeneous mixture of differently refrangible rays. To choose is to be a creator. Science is the study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation and experiment. Mathematics is the language in which God has written the universe. I keep the subject constantly before me and wait until the first dawnings open little by little into the full light. Every particle of matter in the universe attracts every other particle. There are more sure marks of authenticity in the Bible than in any profane history. The truth is much too simple. It is only the path to it that is complicated. No discovery of mine has ever been greater than the discovery of the love of God. God is the same God, always and everywhere. The velocity of light is finite. The moon is not a self-luminous body. Order and beauty are the hallmarks of creation. Reason is the handmaid of faith. Everything that is done in the world is done by hope. A little science estranges a man from God. A lot of science brings him back. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Knowledge is the treasure, but practice is the key to it. The stars are at immense distances from us. The fluxion of a quantity is the rate at which it changes. The world is a great machine. Force is the cause of change in motion. In every observation, the observer is part of the process. Wisdom is the understanding of the laws of the universe. The book of nature is written in the language of mathematics. True knowledge is based on facts, not opinions. The law of inertia is the foundation of all mechanics. I shall not mingle conjectures with certainties. Infinite duration is the attribute of the eternal. I have found the world a place of wonder and mystery.